Welcome to Doug's Open Mic, a podcast spotlighting local musicians, bands, and songwriters.
Hi everybody, DUG here on Doug's Open Mic. We are doing our second, we'll call it a promo podcast for the Stand Up for Animals. That's coming up in December. We get John Speziale here and Papa Santa, my good buddy. So normally we don't promote things that are not totally topical because we always hope that people will listen to these things in the future. However, we make an exception for Stand Up for Animals because it's an annual thing. So even if you're listening to this, say in 2020 or 2021, if it's December, it's going to be going on. So how you doing, John?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right, good. So give us the bare bones about, date, time.
Okay, so this is our 7th annual Rock and Roll Christmas benefit for Stand Up for Animals, the humane shelter here in Westerly. And it's on December 8th at the Knickerbocker. Doors open at 6 o'clock. And once again, we'll be having all kinds of raffles, prizes. We'll be having our annual hula dancing contest. It's a big hit.
I will not be participating.
Okay, that's probably for the best. I won't either, except to be singing a little bit. And we'll have 2 bands, and the house band is always what we call the Friends, made up of a super group of local well-known musicians from well-known bands, including Amy Coffey on vocals.
Love her.
And Jimmy Tarbox on guitar.
Great guy.
Dave Allen on bass.
Super bass player.
Jazz drummer extraordinaire Kenny Serio on drums.
Again, perfect.
And Sandy Allen on a variety of instruments. And myself on piano, mostly, and guitar. And
right.
A lot of harmonies, singing. And we'll be playing a very good selection of rock and roll Christmas tunes, and some real classics in there, like "Rocking Around the Christmas Tree," and the rock version of "Santa Claus is Coming to Town." And we'll also feature during our set our friend Dancing Santa, and he'll be coming out during the set, dancing around with everyone who wants to dance with him. And he jumps all over the place. It's still unrevealed who the mysterious dancing Santa is.
It's Santa.
It's Santa. It's really Santa. He makes a special appearance.
We have kids that listen to this show, Joe.
It is Santa. I'm just kidding. But people wonder because he has so much energy, and Santa's supposed to be so old, but this guy, I don't know. Maybe he's drinking energy drinks before the show.
He's just hopped up on all the sugar from the cookies.
Yeah, that
really.
too.
So I know that we probably talked about this last year, and we'll probably talk about it every year because we want to give context. How did you first get involved with Stand Up for Animals, and why a Christmas show?
Okay, well, I've been living here for quite a while now, and I live in Pawcatuck, and they got my attention on Facebook. I noticed a lot of their posts, searching for lost animals, pet of the month, trying to find adoptive homes for these dogs, cats, and actually other animals. And I started I would donate every year around this time. Small donations, but just because I really love pets. My wife and I have had many dogs, and we're particularly fond of canines. And I thought it was a really nice charity, and I read about their progress. They were raising funds. They were improving the facilities, building a dog park, this and that. And I thought, what a great place. never really thought about doing a benefit concert for them until 7 years ago when and I've mentioned this before, but I was inspired by seeing this Brian Setzer show a couple of times where he does the swing numbers and rock and roll numbers, and it's a great Christmas show, and I still recommend to anybody if he comes. I've seen him twice. I guess it was at Foxwoods. If he comes, you really should see that. I mean, it snows inside the building, and it's exciting. The music's great. You're going to want to dance in your seat. And I was just so inspired by this, and I said, boy, I'd love to do something like that sometime. And then my friend Keith Cowley, local, I don't even know what to call him anymore, local entrepreneur.
Shark expert, graphic design expert, author,
forager,
publisher,
Forager. I like Forager.
artist, wonderful guy. And I mentioned this to him, and he said, well, we should do this. And I said, well, yeah, maybe next year. It's October already. And he said, come on, let's try it. And the next thing, he calls me up one day and said, I booked the Nick. So then we had to do it. And I said, well, listen, let's do this as a benefit maybe, because, if we tug at people's heartstrings a little bit, and it's Christmas, spirit of giving, probably be very successful, and whoever we pick will do pretty well. He said, great idea. What do you want to do? And right away I said, Stand Up for Animals, because I was already, getting their newsletter and sending them some money once in a while. And so it was a nice fit. They were thrilled, and they've supported us all this time. And that's pretty much how it started. And every year it gets a little better. Last year was the most successful financially and also the smoothest show.
Obviously, because of the podcast.
Well, I think the podcast had a lot to do with it. I'm not sure. All right.
Yeah, shut up.
I mean, I think we're burying the lead a little bit here. We have a special guest in studio. And,
that's how special he is.
Yeah, he thinks he's special, that's for
They're
sure.
talking about me.
Yep.
Yep. So let's bring out the star of the show,
That's right.
the man of the hour,
Damn straight.
Puppet Santa. Welcome, Puppet Santa, to Doug's Open Mic.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me. I know, as far as Doug's here, the whole thing is under duress.
People say I hate Puppet Santa. That is not true. He's just kind of annoying. No offense.
It's my middle name. Puppet A. Santa.
Doug, why you gotta be such a Grinch? Puppet Santa brings joy to all of the people of Westerly.
And sarcasm.
And sarcasm.
I just wish he would be a little more humble. That's all I ask.
Humble. I live under a couch.
All right, I'll give you that.
So, Puppet Santa, tell us why you are the star of Stand Up for Animals.
Well, I'm not saying I'm the star.
Of the benefit. Sorry,
I should be
not
the
whole
star.
organization.
Well, I think I attract a lot of ladies. You got to have ladies if you're going to dance. Woohoo!
See what I mean, people?
And I'm funny. I actually, if you look at my Facebook page, it says occupation, stand-up comic.
Nice. Now, I know that this is a busy time of year for you, Puppet Santa. You have to get all of the presents ready for all of the good little puppets of the world. I assume that that's what you do. You are the Santa for puppets. Is that?
No, not necessarily.
Oh, all right.
Sounds like a little bit too much work for Puppet Santa, to be honest.
Puppet Santa, what do you do the other 364 days out of the year?
Sleep under a couch.
So do you just hibernate until it's time for the benefit again?
No, they bring me out every once in a while. Sometimes a dog finds me and chews on me.
And what can we expect from you this year, Puppet Santa?
Well, I don't work blue at these kinds of things.
That's good. Oh, you do generally.
Well, occasionally.
Just not Just not when it's a benefit.
At the comedy clubs and stuff, I'll let a 4-letter word slip out. But no, I'm going to tell some jokes. I like to. I'm kind of an insult comic, and I look at the celebrities in the room and I'll make fun of them. All in good spirits.
Will you be making fun of Doug this year?
Sure.
Given.
Doug, what is your problem with Puppet Santa?
I don't know. He just rubbed me the wrong way.
Has he made fun of you before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I admit it. Last year at
He
the
makes
show.
fun. I don't take exception to that because he does that to everybody. So he doesn't pick me out over anybody else.
He's the Don Rickles of hand puppets.
It's true.
Don Rickles is a god to me. And Triumph, the comedian, the comic dog, Triumph. He insults everybody too.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So, Puppet Santa, thank you very much for joining us.
Okay, I get it.
If we can talk to John again,
Oh, sure.
yeah, we'll see you on the news when you come
Big
alive in
shot.
the middle of the night.
The big shot over here.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll shut up. See you at the show. Woohoo.
All right, Doug, you are probably relieved that John has come back into the room.
Yes.
I hope he didn't hurt anybody.
No. That's
Okay.
So as an aside, if we did this podcast last December, so if you want some additional history on the Stand Up for Animals, there's some additional history there. There's a lot of talk about John's band, The Friends, and how they started out, and so that was episode 13, by the way.
Well, lucky 13.
There you go. Now, John, what? I know that you yourself, you said that you've rescued several animals. You have a new.
I have a new pet at home. His name is Boo, B-O-O. And we're not sure exactly what his DNA is. We're thinking of doing one of those DNA tests because...
They have them for dogs, of course.
Yes, they do, yeah. And they'll tell you what breeds are in there. He's a rescue from Arkansas. And he didn't appear to have been abused in any way. I think he was just abandoned. They found him walking around town, and he was in good shape. And he's got a terrier head with wire hair. He's black and white, and but his body has almost smooth coat, short-ish legs, and a really long tail. Some people think there's basset hound in there. We were told he was half terrier of some sort and half dachshund, but I don't see that. We're not sure. But he's a really classic-looking dog. When you see him, everybody sees him and they go, "Wow, what a nice-looking dog," And my wife thinks there might even be some pit bull because of the shape of his head. We're not sure, but he's all dog. He's all kinds of
All dog all the time.
Yeah.
How does he get along with Puppet Santa?
We keep them separated. He did when we first got Boo found Puppet Santa under the couch, and it wasn't pretty. But in his defense, he's a puppy, and he didn't realize he was tackling a celebrity.
Also, what you don't realize is that ever since you brought him home, Doug sneaks over to your house and shows him pictures of Puppet Santa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Attack him.
Oh, okay. I see.
So it's all Doug's fault.
It's all my fault. Everything's my fault.
Well, if you lived in my house, you'd feel good because apparently everything's my fault over there.
We can split it half and half.
Yeah.
I like it. In this house, nothing's my fault.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You're lucky. Yeah, and Boo is great. He's got a lot of energy. I haven't been this tired in years. And he's funny because he has a lot of energy and he jumps around. He likes to jump up onto my lap, which is fine, except he weighs about 30 pounds. He's bigger than we thought he was going to be. And he's all muscle. I mean, he's strong. And we took him on a trip a couple weeks ago up to Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we stayed at this motel. And I was sitting in the armchair next to the bed, and Boo was on the bed. And suddenly, the bed was rather high, and this had never happened yet because Boo he'd never had the opportunity, and he leapt off the bed and came at me from above me and landed on my head. It was hilarious to a point, but he just has to jump up on me, but in a nice way. Then he'll just roll over. He likes belly rubs. Just roll over, put his head back, and hey, relax, And now we're really, really happy with him, and we know we've done a good thing, and we encourage everybody to do this because it's important. There's so many dogs, especially in the South. There seem to be a lot of abandoned pets and lost pets, and you go on the internet, you'll find all kinds of great rescue sites. So I recommend it. And here, Sufa too. They didn't have a dog that would fulfill our needs specifically, so that's why at this time. So that's why we didn't use them this time. But that's wonderful there. And Puppet Santa has visited the facility a couple times, and he loves going over there. And he doesn't make fun of the animals, just the staff.
All right.
That makes sense.
1 point for Puppet Santa. I'll give him that.
Well, Puppet Santa, if there's one thing about Puppet Santa, he definitely cares about the animals, which is why he puts on this show every year and invites you guys all to be a part of it.
That's right.
Is Craig gonna do the strolling fiddler thing again?
Strolling fiddler, Craig will be there, and also this year the opening act is my other band, Sweet Mercy.
Huh. Yep.
We had the Carlines last year. They were fabulous.
Oh, Collins.
And they were going to do it again this year, but we had to change the date because there was a conflict with an event happening in Westerly, the big light parade, and we didn't want to be the same night as that because, we wanted to make sure we had a crowd. So, and that's going to be a great thing. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we moved it up a week, and then the Carlines couldn't do it. And we were trying to figure out who to get. And then somebody said, well, why don't you have Sweet Mercy play? And I said, because I'll be playing twice, and I have other things to do. And also people say, he's hogging up the whole show. But then the guys in Sweet Mercy were like, well, Sandy's in the Friends, but Craig and Jamie, our bass player, they don't do that much at the show. Jamie comes out and plays a couple of songs at the end sometimes. So I said, well, let's give him a chance to get in there. And we've learned a couple of interesting Christmas tunes also.
Yep.
How long does the show last?
Well, we get started. We wait. We want the crowd to get kind of full and
Lubricated maybe a little bit.
And we do some opening remarks, but it generally kicks off between 6:30 and 7, and it ends around 9:30. It's not a really long. It's perfect for a Sunday evening.
Yeah.
Because there was some talk this year about, well, let's have it on a Saturday night.
I think Sunday's better.
We've always had it on a Sunday a couple weeks before Christmas. People know that now. There are people out there, believe it or not, who actually count on this show. That's a Christmas party, and they enjoy it. And Sunday's good, and it's not too late.
Yep.
Yeah,
if you had to do it on Saturday, you'd have to do it at 7. You'd have to do it later. And I think Sunday's perfect.
And also now it's all company Christmas parties and family Christmas parties, and Saturday nights are pretty booked for people at this time of year.
Agree.
They all have things to do. So,
all right. So hit us one more time with the date and time and
it's
location.
Going to be December 8th, Sunday. Doors open at 6 o'clock at the Knickerbocker in Westerly, and I want to say thank you to them because they are very generous. The only, they hire staff and everything, and the only thing, they take some profit from the food and drink that they sell, but we get the entire gate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and anything else we make in there is ours, and they've been great.
Just so everybody knows, the gate is how much this year?
$12,
Which I think is super reasonable.
Yeah, we've only gone up once. It was $10, I think, in the beginning, and we went up last year or the year before to $12. You know. Oh, and bring singles and fives, because the raffle tickets are $2 each and 3 for $5.
There you go.
Oh, the raffles, I should say. A lot of local vendors are so generous. We have all kinds of gift cards. We put them together thematically, like dining in Westerly area, shopping. And we have 3 gift bags with all these gift cards. And we're soliciting those now. And it's a great raffle. I mean, you can really, literally get a couple, $300 worth of stuff for a $2 raffle ticket. So let's see the cash.
All right.
Awesome.
That's it, I guess.
All right. Well,
thanks for coming by. Just so everybody knows, this is Doug's Open Mic. If you want to see older episodes, just look up Doug's Open Mic on YouTube or Google or whatever. Just remember, Doug's is DUG''S. And I think that's it. Anything else, Ben?
No, I'm excited for the show.
thanks for having me.
All right. DUG signing off.